Third day at Smith Rock, another stunning, spectacular day. And what would be better to be at Smith Rock than to drink some wine?
Oh yeah, except not if you're going up Misery Ridge.
Well, maybe when you get to the top to
Yeah.
celebrate.
Oh, like,
Pop some
yeah.
champagne.
You're pretending like you know what Misery Ridge is all about?
I've been up it more times than you, I think.
Clearly. I have to admit. All right, I'm just going to, just because it's
Oh, hold
The
on.
three of us here.
John's going to admit something.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah.
pause.
I've lived in Central Oregon for 2 years. And honestly, this is my first time this close to Smith Rock.
How is, I actually thought about
I
that in the
know.
You're going to
drive-in
get
this
fired
morning.
saying
I'm
things like that.
But I'm gestalting. I'm letting it go.
We're
And
not.
I'm looking at this saying, how has it taken me this long to get here?
I just wondered how long it was going to take you to stay gestalting on the air. I've
Yeah.
been waiting for that
I wanted
moment.
to hear a God bless you, but I didn't hear anything, so
No.
we're just going to keep
No
going.
one's blessing you today.
Well, Doug Marigus from Marigus Winery, we go out and visit his place, which is right over there, over the
Yeah.
rock in Culver, and then he's going to join us on
Near-
the show. So,
Near Monkey Ridge.
It's monkey
monkey face.
Darn it!
Goodness gracious.
I
He
thought
actually
I
just
had you
showed up. He's not
guys.
even on our show. He just
Okay.
showed up and thought he'd
It's
try
a good
out.
show, we promise. Stay
Get
tuned.
out of here. I am here at Redpoint Climbing Supply with the boss man, Eric, and you are going to tell me everything I don't know about climbing supply, right?
Correct.
What's the first thing a climber needs to be good?
First thing you need are harness, and you have two different styles. You have one with fixed legs, you have one with adjustable legs.
Why does that matter? First of all, who wouldn't want adjustable legs? Because wouldn't it be really, what if your legs are too big?
It's usually, if you can get away with a fixed leg, go with a fixed leg, because it's usually about $10 cheaper.
Oh.
So it saves you a little bit of money. If you have to get adjustable legs, either because the fixed legs don't fit you, or if you're going to use it from varying temperatures from really hot to really cold, then you'll want to go with an adjustable leg harness.
Because your legs can swell up and contract?
Or all the clothing you're wearing.
I got a little bit too deep on that then, I guess. Okay, so tell me about the harnesses though. How much are we talking price range for people who are just getting into it? Do you have to buy the highest price one?
No. Any price harness will be just fine. They all do the job. They're all rated for climbing. They'll start from $45 and go all the way up to $150.
And is that like a one-time purchase for a couple years, or do you need a new one every year?
It depends how much you use it, but usually it's about a 5-year lifespan.
5 years.
Yeah.
Is it Petzl? Is that how you say it?
Yep, Petzl.
They make headlamps as well?
They make headlamps too.
What kind of harness do you have?
I actually have this harness right here.
Nice. Okay, so moving on to the chalk. This is what keeps you on when your hands get all sweaty.
Yep, just like a gymnast uses, they use chalk to keep their hands dry. That's what climbers use, and that's what the little chalk bag is for. Comes with a belt. Most climbers use a belt or clip it onto the back of their harness.
Climbing at Smith Rock during the summer, how badly do you need chalk to stay up?
Very badly. It gets very hot. I always tell people, chase the shade.
Chase the shade.
Yep.
How hot can it be up on the wall? Someone was telling us that it's like 20 degrees hotter.
It can be, especially if you're in the sun. If it's how it is 90 degrees today, it's gonna feel like 110 because that rock just radiates the heat.
It sounds terrible.
And that's why you don't climb
It
in the
must be
sun.
worth it.
Yeah, don't climb in the sun.
Too much.
Yeah.
So you have their chalk bag, and then the rope is obviously very important. How do you know when you're buying a good rope for climbing? Price tag?
Yeah, price tag's part of it. There's ropes that range from 8.9 millimeters all the way up to 10.5 millimeters.
I have no idea what that means.
It's just the width of the rope, how thick it is.
Okay.
And then there's generally two lengths you go for, a 60 meter or 70 meters. This one is a 70 meter rope, and it's a 9/8, so it's kind of in the middle of that size diameter. Thicker rope, longer it's gonna last, the more you can beat it up. Thinner rope, it's gonna be a lot lighter to carry in, lighter when you're clipping each bolt.
So you have to do a little bit more work if you want it to last for a longer time?
Yes.
How hard is it just to carry the gear into Smith Rock? depending on where you're going.
Yeah, luckily Smith is very easy compared to other places. This is a very short hike at Smith. There are places I've been where it's easily 2.5 hours to hike.
2.5 hours?
With all of your gear. Yeah.
And then you forget one thing in the car and you have to go back.
Exactly.
How long have you been climbing for? I mean, you must really love it. You own your own store.
Yeah, I've been climbing since about 2001.
2001. And how'd you get into it?
I just kind of stumbled onto it. I had a birthday party at a climbing wall once and thought that was really fun, and then just started going when I was older and just loved it.
What's the hook for you?
What's the hook?
Yeah, what keeps you going back?
It'd be the views.
The views, yeah.
The views are great. The challenge is awesome. So.
Does it ever get kind of lonely up there, though? Because a lot of the time you see a group full of people down on the ground kind of hanging out and there's one person climbing, or is it just completely nice up there?
It can be however you want it to be, whether it's a big group of people who are climbing and it's something social and they're all cheering you on, or it can be all about solitude where you're just climbing and the person with you climbs up and then you guys just keep going.
What's the hardest area you've ever climbed?
The hardest, I'd have to say the Needles in California.
What was difficult about it?
Just everything about it, the exposure, the isolation. It was probably about a 3-mile hike in after you drive 3 miles on a dirt road, and you're just in the middle of the national forest, and it's gorgeous out there.
So obviously not a lot, but danger involved with climbing. And does everybody wear a helmet? Who's a climber? Or is it cool to not wear one?
Well, it's not cool, but your mom wants you to wear a helmet all the time.
Yeah. They're pretty light.
They are light, and there are lighter ones than that as well. That usually comes with a higher price tag at that point, though.
Oh, okay.
And it depends where you're climbing. Like Smith Rock, it's very vertical. There's not too many top outs where you have to worry about debris coming down on you. So people tend to not wear a helmet
Really?
here. Yeah, but places where the rock is lower quality, you're more likely to pull off holds or fall and hit your head, then they'll tell you to wear a helmet more often.
Okay, I have 2 questions for you before we let you go.
Okay.
One, have you ever ran into a rattlesnake while you were climbing?
Not while I was climbing, just at the base.
On the hike?
Yes.
Okay, that's a big fear of mine. Not that I'm a climber, but...
I have heard of mountain goats up in Leavenworth. They tend to like hanging out near climbers.
All right, and also, can you point us out what is your favorite phrase on this t-shirt that you've seen or heard from people?
Favorite excuse, the one I use the most is probably the last one, just because I get so mad, and that's I hate climbing anyway.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, we're going to have to go climb sometime. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course.
it.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll be right back.